Hello, everyone out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about Babygirl. That's right, Babygirl. This chick flick from last year, 2024. It's about a woman who's 57, pretending to be 49. Okay, and it shows. Okay, who starts an extramarital affair with one of her employees, a young intern, a young stud named Samuel. Okay, and anyway, she orgasms a lot with him and stuff. Okay, and hiding all this, but behind her husband and her children, and the other employees don't know about what's going on here. Neither do the the board members or the investors. They don't know anything about this, so she's keeping it pretty close to the chest here. And they have a lot of sex, okay, especially at work. You would think with all the cameras and stuff everywhere, I mean, I know she's the CEO of the company, but does she also own the building? Can she tell the security guys when to turn the cameras off? Or just a lot of this. There's so many plot holes in this. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, okay? I regret agreeing to review this movie, because the more I got into it, the more I'm like, this would never fucking happen. This is just too much crap here. This is way too many plot holes, way too many coincidences, conveniences, stuff that's not explained. Okay, I think that obviously the person that wrote this movie, okay, does not know how the real world works, okay? They have never worked for a corporation. They've never been an intern for a multi-conglomerate. Okay, they sure as hell never interviewed a CEO of a company to find out what that person's day-to-day activities are, what their life is like, what their family is like. If you're just imagine this for a second. Okay, imagine you're Elon Musk. Okay, imagine you're Elon Musk. Okay, and one of your interns just happens to show up at your country house, the house you stay in on the weekends, out in the woods and stuff. How does that happen? How does that happen? How does that person get anywhere near you? Much less into the house where your children sleep. Okay, how the hell does that happen? You see what I mean? No security guard, no nothing. Okay, I mean, she's the CEO of her damn company, and she rides the same elevator that her staff rides. Okay, that the interns all ride. Okay, she smokes her cigarettes in the same smoking area as her employees. Okay, she hangs out in the same commissary as her employee. This is ridiculous crap. Okay, there's a hierarchy for a reason. I was in the military. Okay, and even in the military, okay, when you go to the chow hall, when you go to eat, okay, there's a place for the non-NCOs, that's the privates and the lance corporals. But once you become an NCO, once you become a corporal or a sergeant, staff sergeant, you don't sit with them. You don't sit with the troops anymore. You sit with the other non-commissioned officers, okay? And it's that for a reason, not just because you earned it, but because you're now giving orders as opposed to the people that are taking the orders. You see what I mean? Okay, you've now been given more responsibility. You're giving orders now, and they have to follow them. Okay, you have people under you now, all right? And that's the distinction. Okay, you don't fraternize with each other. Okay, you don't have sergeants hanging out, with privates. Okay, because that shows favoritism. Okay, that's fraternization. You see what I mean? You can't do that, and all corporate places are like that too. Okay, you can't have the damn CEO of a company, going out on dates with a damn low-life intern. I mean, that can't happen. It's going to send the wrong message. Okay, especially to the other employees. That fraternization is condoned. Okay, can you imagine, if you're a waiter, in a hotel, in a 5-star hotel, and you're just a waiter in one of the restaurants, and you're having sex with one of the security guards that works at the same hotel? Okay, I mean, do you realize that security guard has keys to all these different offices, all these different rooms in the hotel? Okay, that she can get you into, you know what I mean? She knows where the cameras are. You see what I mean? Okay, do I talk from experience? Don't ask. Don't ask, all right? Anyway, the point is, is that there's a reason they have these non-fraternization clauses in most companies. Apparently, Nicole Kidman's company does not have that. Okay, because you are allowed to fraternize with the executives. Okay, you are allowed, to hang out. Okay, with middle management. Okay, this is you can even go to their house and it's okay. All right, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can go to bars and drink together. I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, this would never happen in real life. Okay, and what I just mentioned, that is the most believable aspect of this movie. Okay, I haven't talked about the unbelievable stuff yet. Okay, so this movie is just crap. In every sense, it's not even a good movie, much less an erotic thriller. Okay, it's not even a good movie. It fails the movie test, first of all. Okay, no plot agreement. Okay, plot holes out the ass. Okay, things are never explained. Okay, it just happens. It's like the idea. It's like a 14-year-old girl writing her idea of what a forbidden romance between an old lady and a young stud. Okay, in a corporate setting. Okay, this is what this is. Okay, it doesn't hold up to any scrutiny. It's not realistic at all. It's not believable at all. Okay, before you call me sexist or something like that. No, the idea that an old lady gets turned on by a young man. Yes, that is believable. That's very believable. It happens all the time. Okay? But would it happen like this? Fuck no. Fuck no. Okay? The biggest problem that I have with this movie, okay, is that you have to, in order for you to care about the main character, she has to be likable. She has to be worth caring for. This character, Romy Mathis, that's Nicole Kidman's character, okay? CEO of this company that she built with her own hands. She founded it herself. She did it all by herself because she's the boss bitch, right? Okay? Yale graduate. She graduated top of her class at Yale. Okay? I mean, she's the shit, okay? Very smart, very everything, barks out orders, she gives presentations, she does her own PR for some fucking reason. Why the hell would she do her own PR for the company? That's ridiculous. You should hire people to do that. That'd be like if the press secretary for the United States or the president did his own Q&A session with the press. Okay, like what the hell, dude? You hire people to do that for you. Okay, but she does it herself. She does her own industry commercials, her internal videos for the employees. She does them herself. I mean, this is a lot to ask. Okay, then we're supposed to believe it. Okay, but in order for you to care about the main character, okay, you gotta like the main character. Okay, I mentioned in another video before, Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction is the same genre as this. Okay, you got this guy, he's this rich guy, he's got a family, he's got a wife, children, and all that stuff, lives in New York. He has an affair. Actually, it was really a one-night stand, but it turned into a two-night stand. Anyway, the woman he had an affair with, she caught feelings for him. Okay, and she wanted more from him than just a casual fuck, like she would pursue him and offer him, dates and stuff. He's like, hey, my wife, the only reason we did what we did is because my wife was out of town. But she's back now, and I don't want to see you that way. I'm sorry, okay, but I don't have feelings for you. I don't want a relationship with you. I love my wife. What I did was a mistake, okay? I don't regret it, okay, but I can't see you anymore. Blah, blah, blah. That's what he tells her. And what does she do? Now she goes psycho. Now she finds out she's pregnant by him. She ain't going to have an abortion. And she wants him in her life or else. And if she can't have him, nobody can. And she harasses the family. She stalks them. Okay. She kidnaps their daughter. In one scene, she kills their family pet. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And what it comes down to, okay, she tries to kill him. Okay, because of his unrequited love. And at the very end of the movie, it's his wife who ends up taking out the mistress by shooting her right before she was about to stab the husband in the back. Okay, and kill him. Okay, so I mean, it was a psychological thrill and all that stuff, but the reason we cared about the movie is we cared about Michael Douglas's character. Okay, he's not a perfect person. He's a flawed human being. Okay, which everybody is to some extent. Okay, but you could see that he was sorry about what he did. Okay, and you could see that it wasn't worth it. Okay, and you could see that, oh my God, dude, I almost lost. I'm gonna lose everything here because of my actions. Okay, and he sincerely regretted what he did. Okay, and he tried to stop it. He confessed to his wife, listen, I cheated on you and I'm sorry, and she had to deal with that pain. And then she decided to take him back. She forgave him. okay, and stuff, and then this crazy psycho started coming after the family. Okay, and he tried to deal with that. He even moved his whole family at one point, but she found out his new address and stuff. So, like, he took steps to stop this woman, okay? He did everything that he could. He wasn't a malicious person by nature. He had a slip up. He made a mistake. He apologized it. He accepted the consequences, but the consequences were a lot higher than he was willing to expect. He honestly did not think. I think he was an attorney or something, okay? He was a corporate attorney or something like that. Okay, so he wasn't well versed in like divorce law or nothing. Okay, but I think that he thought that he could just have sex with this woman and that would have been it. They were both just looking for some recreation and that would have been the end of it. He wasn't trying to catch feelings with her. He wasn't trying to fall in love. He wasn't trying to leave his wife. Nothing like that. Okay, he just saw an opportunity and against his better nature, he went with it. I'm not excusing him for that. You should never cheat on your wife. Okay, but he did. Okay. And he suffered the consequences for it, okay? He honestly thought that it would just be a one-time thing and that would be it, okay? That he'd never get caught, okay? There wasn't going to be any sort of a second relation, no affair really, because he's not like going to be taking this girl to vacations and shit behind his wife's back or nothing like that. No, it was just, he just thought it was going to be a one-time thing. Well, it ended up being a lot worse than that because the girl was psycho, okay? So the reason we cared about him in that movie was because we could see him, his character. It was well acted by Michael Douglas. You could see that he was sorry for what he did. You could see the deviousness. He thought, I can get away with just fucking her. And then also he's like, oh shit, what have I done? What have I done? And the way he has to apologize to his wife. He has to tell her the truth. Okay? And the look on his face when he realized he just put his whole family in danger because this woman was a psycho. Okay? Like a knife wielding psycho. And I've dated those before too. Okay? So like you could see that he was really suffering for what he did. Okay, a lot more than any normal person who cheated on his wife would suffer. Okay, and so like he definitely got his. He definitely got his in that movie. He did suffer for his mistake. Okay, all right. So he didn't just get a free pass. All right. I mean, his family got terrorized because of his dalliances. You see what I mean? And so you could feel some sympathy for him. You don't excuse what he did. And even after all that shit, if his wife had left him, I think Ann Archer played his wife in that movie. If she had left him, it would have been justified and I would have understood. And I would have told her this was a real person and I knew him. I would have told him, dude, you did this to yourself, man. What'd you think was going to happen? You fucked around your wife. What'd you think was going to happen? Okay? So now you're going to have to rebuild your life. Okay? All over again. Okay? Now you're going to have visitation rights for your daughter. Now you're going to have to, pay for your soon-to-be ex-wife's house, and you're going to have to get your own place now. And, see what I mean? All this stuff would have happened to him. That's why I told him, I said, you did this to yourself. Okay? But you did this to yourself. All right? And so there was a level of humanity in him. Okay? Like I said, he wasn't a perfect person. I don't excuse his behavior, but there was a level of humanity there. He realized that he had fucked up. Okay? And that he was trying to make things right. Okay? He went out of his way to fix this. Okay? He actually, when he told Glenn Close's character, the mistress, that he couldn't see her, he was trying to be nice about it. He really was. But she was a psycho. She was a fucking psycho. When he finds out that she's pregnant with his kid, oh my God. Now he's like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? You see what I mean? Okay, so he suffered for it. So far in this movie, Nicole Kidman is an unlikable bitch. Okay, she's dumb as fuck, and you're supposed to expect me to believe that she's the CEO of her company because she walks around like a bitch and she wears expensive clothes and she lives in an expensive penthouse. Okay, and she owns an expensive house. Okay, out in the country. Everybody respects her and shit. So we're supposed to believe that she's smart and capable. Okay, but then once you get to know her, she's a dumb fuck. When it comes to her personal relationships, she doesn't know shit. Okay, she's very dismissive of people, especially the people in her lives. Okay, she doesn't pay nearly as much attention to her fucking to her children or her husband as she is on her fucking phone. Okay, she fraternizes with her employees, which is a terrible sign. Okay, that's bad leadership. Okay, you have to distinguish the line between who's leading this ship, okay, and who's fucking following the orders. Okay, it's all set up for a reason. The hierarchy is there for a reason. Okay, but she fraternizes with interns. Okay, she fraternizes with people that are well beneath her in the company. Okay, she has an image to uphold, and she doesn't give a shit about that apparently. Okay, she talks about in the movie how her family is the most important thing in her life, but yet she does everything in this movie to fuck over her family. Okay, so that there's no psychological agreement there. Okay, no, her family doesn't come first. Okay, if her family come first, she wouldn't have fucking done the shit that she does in this movie. over and over again, not a one-time thing like in Fatal Attraction, over and over again. Okay, she says all these things, okay, but she doesn't. But none of this shit fucking happens. Okay, she's a shitty mom, she's a shitty wife, she's a shitty CEO. Okay, and she's a shitty lover as well. She's too fucking self-conscious. She can't just go with what's going on. Okay, this is bullshit. Why the fuck should I care about her or her orgasms? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this woman because this woman doesn't give a fuck about anybody but herself. Okay? Okay, and that's the thing. This movie wants you to think, it's the case of show and tell. This movie wants you to think that she is all these wonderful things because she says that she is. But what she says and what she does in the movie are completely different. You see what I mean? Completely fucking different. She says to Samuel, hey, I love my family more than anything else, okay? But yet earlier in the movie, she tells her husband that he's irrelevant. That we're all irrelevant. That none of us fucking matter. So what the fuck are you worried about? You see what I mean? You see how these things don't line up together? Okay, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Okay, there's a scene where she's talking to her husband, and because they have a daughter that's gay. She's like 17 or so, she's gay. Okay, and she sees like their daughter Isabel and her girlfriend Maria, and they invite them over to the house and they all have dinner together and stuff. And the dad and Romy and Jacob, the parents, Nicole Kidman and Antonio Banderas, they're talking in private underneath some sheets for some reason. Oh my God, did you see the way Isabel was? She even helped us clean up the dishes after dinner. Oh my God. This girlfriend Maria is wonderful for her. I think Maria's making her into a better person. Oh my God, isn't it great? And they're both saying that. And while they're saying that and smiling about how wonderful their daughter's girlfriend is, okay, Romy knows for a fact that their daughter is cheating on Maria with another girl. You see what I mean? What the fuck? The duplicity is right fucking there. How am I supposed to care about this woman? This woman is the bad guy. This woman is the bad guy of the movie. Your main character is a bad guy. Okay? It's a bad guy. With no redeemable qualities. There's nothing about her that I care about. There's nothing about her that makes me want to feel sorry for her or empathize with her situation. There's nothing about her that evokes humanity in anybody. You see what I mean? So what the fuck? So why the fuck am I watching this? Why am I putting myself through this? Okay? Like, the sex scenes aren't even like fucking great. For Christ's sake, Nicole Kidman is a Botox addicted fucking 57-year-old. Okay? She don't look great anymore. I'm sorry, she don't. She looks like a fucking clown. Her skin is all pasty. Her face is all puffed out. She's got like fucking lipstick is bright red. Her hair is bright orange. I mean, whoever did the lighting in this movie did not do her any favors. I'm not just talking about the outdoor scenes. I'm talking about like when she's standing under a light, like in the patio where she smokes her cigarettes. She looks like shit. Like, what the fuck? So yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things wrong, but let's get on with the review. First of all, real quickly, just so I got to get into the habit of doing this more often. That one right there, Diego knows @knows Diego. Okay, that is my X right there. So I post this video here on X as well. And then this right here, Diego de la Vega knows, that is my Rumble. Okay, so in case YouTube ever strikes me down, because they're all a bunch of left-leaning lunatics over there. Okay, in case they strike this down, it's also, I got this on Rumble as well. Okay, because you never know. You never know. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the movie here some more. Where we left off last time, okay, we had the first kiss between Samuel and Romy. Romy, the CEO of her company. Okay, she participated in a mentorship program against her will, despite the fact that she runs the company. The HR department forced her to do a mentorship program. Like, how the hell would the CEO of a company put herself on a list to mentor an intern? That makes no sense. And it's her company, but somehow she has to go by these rules, which also makes no sense. You see what I'm talking about? The unbelievability of this? Okay? I guarantee you, if you're an intern at Disney, do you think that you can choose to be mentored by Bob Iger? You think that can happen? No, it can't. It can't. Okay, and it never would happen. There's plenty of mid-level managements that will be happy to mentor a guy who's trying to get a job in your company. Okay, a mentorship program. Okay, you're not the CEO of the damn company. This is ridiculous. And the fact that they have mentorships in private rooms with no cameras and no security and no other employees, this is ridiculous as well. Why the hell would you allow the CEO of your own company to be put in situations like that? Okay? It's ridiculous. Anyway, so they had their mentorship, their first meeting. We get a little background on her. She's smart. She graduated from Yale, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he flirts with her in a sense. Okay, and then he gaslights her into kissing him. He makes it look like he's going to kiss her, but he backs away. And so this causes her to kiss him, and then he pushes her away, which is gaslighting. Okay, now he knows that she's attracted to him. Okay, and so now he can use this against her. Okay, now any straight guy who watched this movie would immediately think, okay, he's going to try to seduce her so that he can blackmail her so that he can get more privileges in the company. Okay, that's exactly why he's doing it. Okay, but the women that are watching this piece of shit are thinking like he's actually attracted to her. She's definitely attracted to him, and this is just what she needs in her life because her husband can't get her off. Okay, she needs a dominant young stud to play with her. To gaslight her, to tell her what to do. This guy's great for her life and all that kind of shit. The fact that he is using her never approaches the woman's mind. Okay, I think this has a lot to do with why the movie was not very successful. Okay, because I honestly believe, I don't know, there's a lot of dumb women out there who will fall for the gaslighting. I know it. I've done it myself. I know. Okay, but I think most women out there could see, okay, that Nicole Kidman's character is actually not being portrayed very well in this movie. Okay, if this is supposed to be a movie about feminism and about how strong women are and how powerful and tough they are, this movie fails in every respect. Okay, because all she does is reveal how weak she is and how easily manipulated she is and how gullible she is to this. Okay, any straight guy with half a brain could see exactly what Samuel's doing. Okay, he's exploiting the fact that she's old, she's unattractive. Okay, but she runs a company and he's a fucking lowly intern. And if I'm fucking the boss, okay, I can advance much higher in the company. Okay? But that never occurs to anybody who made this movie. No, he's attracted to her because she's a boss bitch, because she graduated Yale, because she's beautiful and tough and strong and smart and famous. And you see what I mean? That's the difference between the way a typical woman would see this movie and the way like a straight guy would see this movie. All right? Same thing happened on Sex and the City. If you remember that, you remember Samantha when she was dating that stud, that actor, Smith Jared. Okay, remember how she was developing sort of feelings for him and all that kind of shit? At no point did anyone on that show ever point out to Samantha's character that the only reason this good-looking guy was fucking her was because she was helping his career. That never came up, not even once was even implied. Okay, you were just expected to believe that he legitimately was in love with Samantha, despite the fact that she was a good 20 years older than him, okay, or 25 years older than him, okay? You're just supposed to go with it, all right? That she got this super stud, male model looking guy to fall in love with her. Get the fuck out of here. No. The thought never occurred to anybody that he could just be using her, because that would make Samantha look gullible and stupid, okay, and desperate. And we can't have that with Samantha. No, she's the boss bitch. You see what I mean? And that's what's happening here, okay? And trying to make Romeo this incredible boss bitch, you're actually making her look more pathetic, okay? And the fact that nobody involved in make this movie seems to realize that should show you but the level of talent that these filmmakers have. Okay, everyone from the director, some ugly Dutch lesbian, okay, to the screenwriter, to everybody involved in this movie, including Nicole Kidman herself. What kind of a woman who's 57 years old wants to do an erotic thriller, okay, by puffing her face up with Botox? Okay, this is ridiculous. She should be playing grandmas. The fact that she's 57 and she's portraying a woman who's got children that are both, that one's like 17 and the other one's like 12. What the fuck kind of a 57-year-old woman has a 17-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old daughter? No. That should be the ages of her grandchildren. Okay? But she can't play a grandma because that would make her look old and unattractive. You see? So no, she has to play the sexy wife who's cheating on the husband with a young stud. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody believes this shit. Nobody believes this shit. Okay? All right. Anyway, so that's going on here. The next scene here, they're out in the countryside in the backyard. I guess that's their weekend home. Okay, out in the woods somewhere. I'm guessing it's in upstate New York. Romy catches Isabel making out while she's there one night at their country house. She looks outside from her kitchen and she sees her daughter Isabel, okay, the lesbian, okay, the 17-year-old lesbian, and she's in the swimming pool making out with another teenage girl who we find out later on her name is Sophia. And Sophia is like a 17-year-old neighbor. She lives in the house next to theirs, okay? Now, Romy knows for a fact that her daughter Isabel has a girlfriend back home, back in in New York City, named Maria. So she is watching her lesbian daughter cheating on her girlfriend, and she notices this, and she just sees it, right? Which is exactly what Romy is fantasizing about, cheating on her husband. Okay, and she catches her making out. Okay, because her daughter's a slut too. Okay, making by the pool with a neighbor teenage girl. Okay. And she confronts her about this later on, the next day. And yep, it's woke. Okay, and what do I mean by woke? Okay, because this is the first scene that's revealed that that their daughter's a lesbian. Okay, that gives her points, that gives her plot armor. Nothing bad can happen to her because she's a lesbian. If anything bad were to happen to Isabel, that means that the producers of this movie are homophobic. Okay, and they are most not. Everybody knows that only MAGA people are homophobic. So that's another way this movie's trying to push that message, okay? So yes, of course this movie's woke as fuck, all right? The only good relationships in this movie are the gay ones, all right? So anyway, Isabel, like I said, Isabel has a girlfriend back in New York City named Mary, okay? And Romy asked her, I thought you loved Mary. And Isabel says, like, I do love Mary, Mom, okay? I do love Mary, okay? I just like to fuck Ophelia, okay? So she wants her cake and eat it too, just like Romy does, just like the mom does. Now, how the fuck is the mom supposed to teach her daughter here, okay, the importance of integrity, of being honorable, okay, of not lying to people to get what you want, okay? This is a great moment for her to teach her that, but of course she ain't gonna teach her that because she doesn't fucking have that any integrity or honor herself, okay? So she's gonna tell her, oh yeah, good for you, sweetheart. You see what I mean? Okay, and Romy actually enjoys the fact that her daughter is cheating on her girlfriend with another girl, okay? Because it separates who you love and who you fuck. You see what I mean? And it's okay. You have one guy to fuck, and then you got another guy to love and have share your life with. Perfect, the best of both worlds. You see what I mean? Her daughter's doing it. Why can't she? See what I mean? Okay, yeah. Okay, next scene, Sam, okay, is with the interns watching the company woke orientation video. Yes, it's woke as fuck. Okay, and he leaves to talk to Romy, okay, who's headed out the door. Okay, so he catches her at the office, okay, while she's walking out. Okay, and she's been avoiding. He tells her, "You've been avoiding my emails." Okay, for our weekly mentorship program. Okay, and she tells him that his behavior is out of line. Yeah, his behavior is out of line. Well, it is, but so's hers. But he doesn't make the mentorship rule. He said, hey, listen, I don't make the rules here, okay? Okay, you agreed to mentor me, and you have to mentor me, okay? Which means that we're supposed to meet every week for 10 minutes, okay? And so you're due to meet with me. I've been sending you emails, trying to schedule with you. You haven't responded, so that's why I'm talking to you in person right now, okay? You have to, okay? I didn't make the mentorship program, okay? I didn't invent it. I'm not the one that enforced that made the rules, okay? So you have to be there, okay? So she agrees to meet with him later, okay, for their second session, okay? Not much resistance on her part, okay? She goes to watch Jacob. She goes to this theater where her husband works. He's a play director, okay, like Broadway type, okay? She goes there to watch Jacob direct this studio play that he's working on, which has to do with adultery, by the way, of course, okay? And he tells her, oh, sweetheart, what are you doing here, man? You have not come visit me. When was the last time you came to visit me while I was working? It was what, 1997 when I was playing Zorro? Yeah, I remember that too. It's because you thought I was having an affair. Ha ha ha. And of course, everything he just said, it doesn't ring a bell at all. It doesn't spark any sort of a suspicion on his part that the only reason his wife came to see him is because she's considering having an affair. And of course, she visited him at work, and of course, he is too busy to talk to her. He's directing these actors on stage during their rehearsals. He does not have time to talk to her, okay? So this pisses her off because she expects to be the center of the universe whenever fucking she wants him to be, and to not be the center of his universe whenever she doesn't want him to be. You see how this works? Okay? So that's going on here, okay? He's completely oblivious to his own statement, and he's too busy to talk to her, so she's all pissed off, okay? You know, and this, of course, just gives her more reason to cheat on him because he's inattentive. The fact that she's been inattentive to him this whole movie, okay, and she feels no guilt about that, never crosses her mind either, okay? So anyway, she goes to this restaurant/bar, okay? I guess that's where her employees hang out, all right? And her staff is all there, and all the interns are there. All these young 20-something-year-olds are getting drunk there after work. And Sam is there, okay, and she tells, I guess, like her assistant or something that she's never done this before. She's never actually, like, hung out with her interns. Well, she does it all the fucking time at work. Why wouldn't she do it outside of work? Okay, that also makes no fucking sense. All right? Why the fuck would you go to a bar where your employees hang out when you're the fucking CEO of a company? Okay? Why the fuck would you do that? Okay? This isn't a company party like the holiday party they had. This isn't an event. Okay, a mandatory employee event or nothing like that. Okay, it's not like a weekend employee picnic or some shit like that. This is a fucking just hanging out after work. Okay, and she decides she's gonna go hang out where the interns hang out. She's a fucking CEO of the company, not where the mid-level management people hang out, where the interns hang out. Okay, so she goes there. Okay. Esme, her assistant, is there. She starts talking about only hiring women from now on. How, hey, we hired too many men. From now on, we just need to hire women. And of course, because, girl power, right? That's what the movie's all about. Okay. From now on. Okay. But Romy's not listening to Esme. Okay. In fact, she's too busy staring at Sam, who's also looking back at her from the bar, giving her the fuck me eyes. Like that. Okay. The bullshit. Okay. Anyway, so that's going on here. Okay. And it turns out that the waiter brings Romy a glass of milk, and she's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, this was brought to you by that gentleman over there." Of course, it's Samuel, right? Gave her a glass of milk to drink. Okay. And for some reason the camera stares upon this for like a good 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, and she just looks at the drink, at the glass of milk, looks at him. He's like, and she's just like, he's like, and she's like, and this goes on for like 2 hours, and then she just grabs the damn milk and she chugs the whole fucking glass in one gulp. Practically, okay? And then she puts it down and looks right at Samuel. He's just like, and then he looks away and goes back to talking to the other fucking Zoomers. All right? So that's going on here. Okay? Okay. Later on, when Romy is paying the bill, she's paying the bar tab by herself for all her employees. Okay, at the bar. All of a sudden, Samuel, I guess he was in the bathroom or something, he comes out and he goes right up to her and says, "Good girl." And then he walks away. And she's just like, for like 3 hours, okay, with her fucking big mouth open, okay, waiting for a cock to go in there. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is this shit? Okay, I get it, she's attracted to him, but when women are attracted to a guy, they don't fucking act like this. Okay? They don't fucking act like this. She's going out of her way to be with this guy. She went to the bar where she knows he hangs out. Okay? She accepted the glass of milk that he offered her. Okay? Knowing, okay, exactly what he's trying to do. Okay? She never told him, "No, listen, what happened the other day when I kissed you, that was wrong. It's never going to happen again. And if I'm going to cancel our mentorship program. You need to pick somebody else, or else I will get rid of you." Okay, you see what I mean? She didn't do that. I'm a married woman, blah, blah, blah. My family is the most important thing in the world to me. I'm not going to jeopardize that for you or anybody else. This is my company. This is my business. This is my life work right here. Okay? Any normal person, executive, would have gotten rid of this guy a long fucking time ago. If I had been the CEO, okay, the first time I met this punk and he insulted me, okay, with this question, okay, about how my company is pretentious and we don't care about helping people. We just want to trick you into buying our robots. That right there would have gotten him thrown out the fucking door, okay? But not in this movie. That would never happen. You see what I mean? This is a load of shit. Okay, anyway. So that's going on here, okay? The next scene, Romy goes home. She changed her clothes to go to Jacob's play. Now, one of the reasons that Jacob, Antonio Banderas, her husband, has been so stressed out and nervous throughout the whole movie is that he's worried that this play is going to bomb. Okay? He's afraid that the script is bad and that the acting is bad. That's why he's so preoccupied with his play. Okay? And whenever he gets nervous about this and insecure about his abilities as a director, he tries to talk to his wife about it, but his wife's been blowing him off. Okay, she's been completely blown. She won't even dance with him at the fucking Christmas party. Okay, so it's very important to him that his wife show up for the premiere of this play because it's important to him. Okay, that she be there. Okay, because this play is important to him. Okay, so she gets dressed like she's doing a chore. Oh shit, I gotta go to my husband's stupid play. That kind of, because we know damn well where she really wants to be. Okay. And so she goes to the play in her nice dress. She goes backstage after the play is over. She praises everybody, tells them they did a good job. Okay, everybody, including Jacob. Okay, and then she rudely leaves. She leaves him there. She says, I got to go to work. There's a work thing I got to go do. So I got to go to the office. I got to go right now. She's like, but sweetheart, this is the most important night of my life. She's like, I'm sorry, okay? You did fine. Okay, everybody here did fine, okay? But I got to go. I got work to do. That kind of thing. She's completely blown. And you can see the look on his face that he's really, really upset. He's upset that his wife's not going to stick around after the play with all the other actors, and technicians and stagehands, okay? That she's blowing him off for work, okay? And to me, that's just like, what the fuck, bitch? Okay, how is it that I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? How am I supposed to relate to you? How am I supposed to empathize with you? How am I supposed to want you to win, okay, once the conflict gets started here, okay? You see what I mean? There's nothing about her worth liking, okay? She's not even a fucking good person. Why do I fucking give a shit about her insecurities and her needs? You see what I mean? She doesn't give a shit about anybody else's. Okay? This is a bad way to write a character. Now, when I used to watch Sopranos, Tony Soprano was also an asshole. He's a piece of shit. He is. Okay? But he had two things that Nicole Kidman doesn't have. Number one, he had charm. Okay? He had charm. Okay? You were captivated by him. Okay? And number two, okay, he actually was good to the people he cared about. The people he loved, he was good to them. He never beat the shit out of his wife. He didn't beat the shit out of his kids. Okay? And he was loyal to the guys in his crew that were loyal to him. You see what I mean? Okay? The people that he liked, he was loyal to them. Loyal. He would not break for any of the people that he was loyal to. Okay? Like Dr. Melfi. Okay? He would never hurt Dr. Melfi. Okay? His shrink. Okay? Because she was important to him. You see what I mean? So he did have his good qualities. Unfortunately, his bad qualities is what his life was about. Okay, the murdering, the stealing, okay, the extortion, okay, all that stuff. That was also him. But when it came to the few people in his life that mattered to him, he treated them great. Okay, he was good to them. For the most part, I mean, yes, I know him and Carmilla got into a lot of fights and shit, okay? But the point is that he loved Carmilla, okay? He loved her, he provided for her. He gave her a beautiful house where she didn't have to fucking work. You see what I mean? Whatever she wanted, he provided it for her. Okay, you see what I mean? And so there was good qualities to him. I don't see any good qualities to fucking Romy, okay? Like I said, she's a piece of shit mom. She's a piece of shit wife. She's a piece of shit CEO. And she's a piece of shit lover, so I don't really give a fuck about her, about what's important to her. Because it's not important to me, because she's got no redeeming qualities. There's nothing about her that screams to me, care about me. You see what I mean? She doesn't care about anybody. All right? And I'm pretty sure this was all before Samuel came into her life. She was already this way. Okay? She didn't even have the decency to talk to her husband about his inability to give her orgasms. Okay? Like, how is he going to fucking fix it if you keep faking him? Okay? You need to fucking tell him. Tell him what turns you on. Okay? I know she tries to do it in the movie, but you don't get it. You need to tell her that what this means to you. Okay? That fucking being treated like shit, being treated like a fucking dog is what turns you on. Okay? Not just in the heat of the moment, but fucking talk about it. Talk about it when your clothes are still on. Talk about it when you're having a private dinner or some shit like that. Don't talk about it when you're both in the bedroom and about to have sex. That's going to throw him off. He's not prepared for that. You see what I mean? All right. Anyway, so that's going on here. Okay, she rudely leaves, okay, but she has a work thing. Okay, despite Jacob telling her that he needs her by his side, he is clearly upset, but she does not give a shit. Okay, she goes to work still wearing her new blue dress that she just put on. Okay, and there is a note on her desk. Obviously, it's from Sam. It says tomorrow at 6:30. Okay, and I guess there's an address there of a hotel room. Tomorrow at 6:30. What the fuck? First of all, how the fuck did this guy get into her private office? Okay, how the fuck does an intern just walk into the CEO's fucking office? The door was just wide open or something, or it's never locked? What the fuck is this shit? And he leaves this note on her desk. Okay, an inappropriate note, by the way. Any motherfucker that works there could walk in, because if he can walk right in, so can anyone else, right? And they see that note for her. And what the, our CEO just got a note to meet some dude at a hotel at 6:30, and I got the address. Does anybody fucking think about this shit before they write the fucking script? Fuck. Okay, and to this I say, and there's Samuel is outside across the street, on the street, looking up at the penthouse suite, smoking a cigarette like, I got her now, okay? You know, now, okay, this is a load of shit. This is a complete load of fucking shit, okay? Any competent leader, okay, any competent executive, CEO, would have this guy fired, okay? Even if she was attracted to him, she'd still have him fired, okay? All sorts of HR violations are going on here. Way too many fucking are going on here. This would never happen in today's fucking corporate system, okay? A smart person, which she is supposed to be, okay, is going to risk losing her business, her investors, okay, a staff revolt, okay, her marriage, her family, okay, and her public reputation, as well as a fucking scandal of her company. Okay? Any thinking CEO with half a brain would realize the risks involved with pursuing a relationship with this guy. Okay? Even a guy wouldn't fucking do this. You think Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, you think they would throw away every fucking thing that they've built in their entire life for a piece of ass? Do you think they would do that? No, they wouldn't. Okay? So why does she willingly and easily do this? Okay? Regardless of the fact that whether or not she's attracted to him or not, okay? Anyway, and he doesn't respect social etiquette, okay, or professional relationships, okay? He invades her personal space. He asks her intimate questions that are none of his fucking business. The answers, okay? He invades her space, okay? He invades her privacy. He stalks her. This, what's the word, okay? This is not to be tolerated, okay? This is insufferable behavior, okay? That would get anybody fired. Anybody would get fired for this shit, okay? This is ridiculous. And the fact that this never crosses Romy's mind at all, ever. The only thing she's concerned about is whether she's going to like herself for cheating on her husband. That's all she's concerned about. She's not concerned about her business, her family, her husband's feelings. Nothing. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for her? I'm supposed to care about her? No. This is a load of shit. You got a terrible protagonist here. She's not even fucking charming, for Christ's sake. At least James Gandolfini brought that to Tony Soprano. He was fucking charming. Okay? She's not even that. Okay? She's ugly. She's too fucking old to be making movies like this. Okay? And her character is a dumb fuck. And the worst part about it is the people who made this movie think that she's smart. Okay. I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back to continue my review of this piece of shit. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.